Author's Notes. For my 250th review, I'll be showcasing every movie or TV show that I have reviewed to date, including the more controversial ones. However, from here on out, the review scores will not be displayed. This will be more of a celebration rather than mere numbers. Anyway, enjoy the review of The Hobbit 1977, based on The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, directed by Arthur Rankin Jr. and Jules Bass. Published by Rankin Bass Productions and Topcraft Limited. Starring the voices of Orson Bean, Hans Conried, John Hudson, Otto Preminger, Cyril Richards, Paul Frees, Jack DeLeon, Don Messick, John Stephenson, and Richard Boone as Smaug the Dragon and Brother Theodore as Gollum, featuring performances by Glenn Yarborough and Thurl Ravenscroft. Rated TV PG.
What do these dwarves want in Hobbiton?
They have come for tea, and for supper, and for you, Burglar Baggins.
Far o'er the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns bold.
Before we get down to the legendary Lord of the Rings Trilogy by Peter Jackson, what do you say we check out the famous animated adaptation of The Hobbit by Rankin Bass Productions? Much like the book and the latter adaptation by Peter Jackson, the story is focused on Bilbo Baggins. He has been summoned by Gandalf the Grey and a number of dwarves led by Thorin to take back the Lonely Mountain and the gold from the fierce dragon Smaug.
Enough! I am Gandalf, and Gandalf means me!
The designs of the characters are both unique and wonderful, even if some of them are ugly. I enjoyed the designs of not just Bilbo Baggins, but also the design of Gandalf the Grey and the dwarves that accompany the Hobbit of the Shire. The goblins, later referred to as the orcs, have the most fearsome designs of the story, with their dual throats for added creepiness. For a movie with limited animation, the animation team behind it worked wonders, and the music provided just added to the atmosphere.
I know that sword! It is called Glampring!
That being said, there are some things cut from the storyline that were in the original book or the Peter Jackson trilogy. Some characters or references, like Azog the Defiler and his son Bolg, did not show up or even mentioned at all. Some areas, like the House of Bjorn, were skipped to compact the movie down. Even some plot elements, like the Arkenstone, were cut down or cut out, which does explain Thorin's nicer attitude towards Bilbo. Not a bad idea, but I wish there were some elements from the book that were included in this film.
Dear me, no. We hobbits are plain quiet folk. Adventures make one late for dinner.
Compared to his latter Peter Jackson counterpart, Bilbo Baggins had more of a moral compass and a lot more wisdom in his belt. He's also far more resourceful and willing to jump into danger to help out his fellow dwarves. But it's a short Battle of the Five Armies that showcases when to draw the line, even if it was a cowardly one. The best part was the performance of the late Orson Bean, who really put his heart and soul into this character. Martin Freeman was a great Bilbo, but Orson Bean was the one who breathed life into this character.
Food for my precious.
There were two characters from the original story that I'm glad remained in this movie. The first one, Gollum, who had a far more frog-like appearance in this movie compared to the Peter Jackson movies. While the Peter Jackson version had its charm due to design, I like the Rankin Bass take on Gollum due to the performance of Brother Theodore, who put in a creepy yet subtle characterization of this iconic character. Sure, his role was small, but still played an important part of the Hobbit story.
Revenge! You have!
The other character who got an important role in the animated movie, Smaug the Dragon. Despite his cat-like appearance compared to the Peter Jackson variation, the use of the animation to showcase a terrifying villain and the performance of Richard Boone really made this character stand out. While Benedict Cumberbatch made his take calm yet terrifying, I enjoyed Richard Boone's over-the-top performance, showcasing how despicably cool this dragon truly was. But regardless if it's Peter Jackson, Rankin Bass, or the book, Smaug is still an iconic villain to this date.
If ever you came from the forges of the true king under the mountain, go now and speed well.
While on the short side, the 1977 Hobbit film is a nice adaptation for those who want a smaller, yet easier to understand version of the J.R.R. Tolkien novel. Even if you enjoyed the Peter Jackson trilogy, I still recommend checking this shorter film out. At least it doesn't wear out its welcome. By the way, should I review the other two Middle-earth animated movies, or The Flight of Dragons? Reply in the comments below. I just might.
We must away ere break of day to seek the pale enchanted gold.
The greatest adventure is what lies on.